Welcome into another edition of The Butcher versus the Spin Instructor, presented by LB's Meat Market. I'm Neil McCready, Greg Jones of LB's Meat Market, Campbell McCready of Zen Studios. With us again today, we're predicting the AFC, NFC championship games. It's championship weekend in the NFL. The two Super Bowl teams will make their way to Los Angeles after Sunday's games, and we'll be back in 2 weeks with a Super Bowl edition. We'll talk some Super Bowl food and that kind of thing, and we'll predict Super Bowl 56. Greg, this will mean something to you. I mean, nothing to Campbell. I got down a rabbit hole the other day of someone asked me in a mailbag, like, games I remember from when I was a kid. And so I remembered a couple of games from the 70s when I was a little boy. And they were like, the battle to get to Super Bowl 10 or Super Bowl 11. And I was like, man, I'm old. We're at Super Bowl 56 already.
When you see the V's and the X's, towards the, yeah. I mean, I remember the 86 Bears team. I mean, I was 6, but for some strange reason, when I was 6 to 12, I was just all about sports and, learning the lineups of all the teams and everything. Wasn't really concentrated on the English and the science and everything like that. But, I could tell you everybody in the major league lineup from 86, probably from 94, probably.
Yeah, it was someone. I ended up going down a rabbit hole. I watched an old Houston Oilers, San Diego Chargers playoff game. I watched the whole damn game.
Was it on YouTube? Because YouTube has everything now. It just you literally look it up and it has the full
it's
almost like a movie.
Yeah, it was right there, and it was so weird. It was the Oilers game when they were in the playoffs. Dan Pastorini was hurt, and then Earl Campbell got hurt. And I remembered all those people and how into that I was as a little kid, 8, 9 years old, and it was like, man, that was a long, long time ago. Totally different.
Yeah. Whenever they did, Meatloaf passed away and they did him doing the national anthem at the All-Star game, I was like, I remember that All-Star game.
Yeah.
And I literally, as they were doing the panning the players, naming off every single player, it's like, golly, it's like, strangely, why do I know that?
Yeah, that was appointment viewing for me when I was a kid, the Major League Baseball All-Star game, because I wanted to watch the introductions.
Mm-hmm. And this was when they had their original uniform, their team uniforms on. I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about the whole All-Star uniform. It just seems like they're making extra money on All-Star jerseys, but yeah, I kind of miss the old days of the actual team, wearing your home team jersey and your team away jersey in the All-Star game.
Yeah, seeing all the uniforms on the field at the same time was always fun. All right, Campbell, what's going on with you? You were in town last week. So let me tell this story, Greg, because I didn't know this until my wife, Campbell's mom, told me a couple of days ago. Campbell was out in Oxford last weekend, and some people came up to her like, hey, I know you from the Butcher versus the Spin.
Oh, wow. So I'll have to put a couple more zeros on her endorsement check.
I'm sure she would accept zeros. Yes.
Yeah, I'll take it.
We're gonna have to sign her on an NIL deal.
Yeah, that's a great idea. So what was that like, Campbell? Was that the first time you've been recognized out as a
Well, normally when I'm in Oxford, I was at Funky's and people come up to me and they're like, I love your dad. I watch all his stuff. And I'm like, oh my gosh, that's cool, whatever. But I don't really have much to say. But
that's cool, whatever, yeah.
But that time they were like, we watch your dad. But we will also watch Spin Instructor versus the Butcher. It's so funny, as they said. And I was like, oh Lord. Well, I don't know how I'm doing so good.
I mean, we're a bunch of funny people, right? I mean,
yeah.
Hey, we're making, especially Greg's making people money. Last week, Greg goes 3-1 on the playoff game.
Oh, and I was 13 seconds away from 4-0. I mean, and I changed my mind. I literally went back to Buffalo.
It's interesting from last weekend. Those games were all so incredible that the money was changing hands from a betting standpoint at the end of all of those games. I mean, those were 4 amazing football games. The Buffalo Kansas City game will go down as an absolute classic. But
yeah,
those were
hopefully
all.
Hopefully it'll make NFL change a little overtime rule. I mean, that's just. I think they'd still be playing that game right now. I mean, somebody would have to be forced to go for 2 or something like that.
I've been on record with this. I don't like the college overtime rule at all. I never have. I think it's a terrible way to decide games. And I hate the NFL rule. I just hate it. There's a simple solution for both sports, college football and pro football, and that's to put an amount of time on the clock and play that time, much like they do in soccer, right? If you have a tie, you put, they eventually go to penalty kicks, but before they go to penalty kicks, they play an extra 30 minutes. So you have 30 minutes to get a goal, to take a lead.
Two halves.
Yeah, 2 halves. Yeah. So, you could do that, and you could do that in football. You could put 10 minutes on the clock, and at the end of 10 minutes in the regular season, it's a tie. It's a tie. And in the playoffs, at the end of 10 minutes, then you go to sudden death. It's a simple solution, but that way everyone gets the ball. Everyone gets.
What a great game! I mean,
it was a great game.
All
right, before we dive into, so Greg, you went 3-1. You're now 109-69 for the season, which is a huge number. Campbell, you had it was nothing to be ashamed of. 1-3. You were 13 seconds from 2-2. You were probably 20 seconds from 3-1, but you went 1-3. You're now 99-79. So it's 20 games over 500. Still very, very strong.
Well, I got a question for you. Do you think if Buffalo squibs that kick on the kickoff whenever there's 13 seconds, they still have enough time to get into field goal range?
Probably not, but sometimes the squib backfires because the squib gets picked up at the 35-yard line and somebody runs it to the 42, and now you just need one play to get into field goal.
Well, it'd probably be like at least 2 seconds come off the clock for sure. Something like that. I don't know, man. I just, I was just like, surely they'll squib it, to get some time off the clock. And man, I think he kicked it through the uprights. He was so hyped up, and
yeah, he crushed.
I kind of felt like that was a bad move, and it is what it is. But what a great game!
Yeah, it was a great game. All right, before we get into the picks, we'll always start by talking about LB's 2008 University Avenue in Oxford, right across from Kroger. What's going on at LB's this weekend, Greg?
We got everything stocked up, ready to go. I'm doing a little touch-up work, and I think I might go to Hot Springs, Arkansas this weekend to go watch a little some horse racing. So it's kind of probably going to be a slow weekend, but who knows? But I'll be stocked up, ready to go. I'm gonna. You might not see me at LB's this weekend. Gotcha. Oh, by the way, I forgot to ask, how were those strips?
They were fantastic. They were really
They looked amazing.
They were absolutely amazing. They were buttery throughout, which is not usually what you get with strips. Sometimes, sometimes it's not that flavor, but those were great.
Awesome.
All right, let's get into the games. You got the NFC Championship, the AFC Championship. The AFC Championship game is the first game up. It is the Cincinnati Bengals, my Bengals. The Bengals head to Kansas City. The Bengals are a 7-point underdog. This is a 2:00 game on CBS. The winner heads to Los Angeles to the Super Bowl. Greg, you're the weekly winner, so you're up first.
Well, I'd love to take the 7 points, but I just much rather get some value out of the money line. I just think that if Josh Allen did that to the Kansas City secondary, there's no telling what Jamar Chase and Joe Burrow can. So unless Kansas City picked up some cornerbacks and free safeties and stuff like that, they might it might be but I'm going to go with the Bengals and the over. I like this all day long.
All right, Campbell. Greg's going to take the Bengals and the 7 points. What do you got?
Well, I was talking my roommate Jess, who's right over here. She, if Cincinnati wins this game, her dad's paying her $1,000. So, she is really encouraging me to pick them. So I'm going to go ahead and pick Cincinnati.
Do you get a cut of the 1,000 if it works out, because you would have kind of helped will it along?
She said she'll give me $5.
$5. Okay.
Hey, that's a pizza, right?
Yeah, well, it's part of a pizza.
Or something.
Yeah, it's a coffee. Yeah, for sure. All right, so you're both going with the underdog Bengals in Kansas City. You're both getting the 7. The final game on Sunday is the NFC Championship game. It's at 5:30. It's the San Francisco 49ers, red hot, heading into Los Angeles to play the Rams. The Rams trying to become the second team in NFL history to play a Super Bowl in their home stadium. Happened for the first time in NFL history last year when the Buccaneers hosted the Super Bowl in Tampa. The Rams trying to repeat it. The Rams, Campbell, are a 3.5-point favorite over San Francisco. What do you think?
I'm just gonna go with the Rams. I asked Jessica what she'd pick, and she said the Rams. So, I don't really have a reason other than that. So I'm going with the Rams.
All right. So Campbell and Jessica are going LA minus the 3.5. It'll be the Niners have beaten the Rams twice already this year. Greg, can they do it a third time, or is this the Rams' destiny?
Well, I mean, I've always said it's hard to beat a team twice in the same year, but for it to happen 3 times, just don't think it's going to happen. I just think the Rams are all in. I mean, this is their the owners, kind of really traded everything to, for this spot, and they've gotten to the spot, and who knows? It just seems like a team destined to be. I like the Rams a lot. I just think they get it done somehow. And I wanted to back up on the Kansas City. I like Patrick Mahomes. I think he's a great football player, but it's just I don't like his wife spraying champagne everywhere. I don't like his brother, doing the dance on Sean. So I just, I love Patrick Mahomes. With that being said, I just, I think Joe Burrow is going to do a little bit better, in that game. So, but I like the Rams and the Bengals in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, there's so many things I like about the Bengals. I mean, Mike Hilton's one of my favorite people I've ever covered. He's had a great season in Cincinnati after going, leaving Pittsburgh in free agency. And then you can't help but kind of like Joe Burrow. And I mean, Jamar Chase.
The guy tore his ACL last year, and everybody's like, oh, this isn't the SEC or college. And literally the very next year, he takes them to the AFC championship game. So yeah. It should be a really good game. Both of them, every game has really good storylines in it.
Yeah, the NFL playoffs just deliver every year, right? So what do you have planned this weekend, Campbell? I know you're going to be locked down watching the games on Sunday. What are you doing the rest of the weekend?
I have CAIO National Convention virtually, called Firesides tonight and all day tomorrow and all day Sunday. So
that sounds like a big screen.
But I have a busy weekend.
Okay, and Greg, you're heading to Hot Springs probably. Do some.
I'm gonna try. I'm gonna check the weather forecast and make sure it's up to standards. But no, Southwest weekend, and then the Pegasus World Cup is down in Gulfstream, and there's a big $3 million race versus Knicks Go versus Life is Good. So that's a big ordeal. It's kind of like the mini Super Bowl of horse racing. So. Yeah, some good horse racing action. So might as well go up to Hot Springs and get some action in.
So don't forget, if you're in Oxford, if you're coming to Oxford, please head over to LB's. You will not regret it. The freshest cuts you'll find, whether it's beef or pork or chicken, seafood, the wings, the stuffed jalapenos, the stuffed mushrooms, the bacon wrapped asparagus, and so much more there at LB's Meat Market. And don't forget, when you walk in on the left side, when you walk in, he's got the frozen section. Everything's $2 off. So if you're not in a super hurry, grab the stuff out of there, give yourself a bargain. It's freshly packaged. It's not like getting stuff out of the deep freeze that's been frozen 4 times in its trip over from Vietnam. It's all good. You'll love it. And Greg, how do people get in touch with you at LB's?
Always call the store, 662-259-2999. Just if you're looking for something as far as 12 jalapenos or 24 or, just a big order like that, always call the store and let us know that we can get you taken care of, get you a telephone number. We'll give you a call back as soon as everything's ready.
All right. We'll be back in 2 weeks for a Super Bowl preview edition. I'm going to post on rebelgrove.com. I'll ask for some questions for Greg, for Campbell, some cooking questions if you have them, Super Bowl food ideas. And then, of course, we'll talk about Super Bowl 56. And get one final weekend of picks from Greg and Campbell. You guys enjoy your weekend. Thanks everybody out there for making us a part of yours. Until next time, enjoy your weekend. Take care.